Welcome to One Brothas Mind, and I am KD Smooth. Today we will question and challenge popular information and views from a B1 perspective, while we expose the real facts you need. We do this to strengthen your logical, critical, and discerning thinking skills. Because in today's world, hard choices are mandatory and they come with consequences. So you need all the information. And at One Brothas Mind, we do this from a B1 Yeshua the Christ followers perspective. Now, if you're not ready, you better get ready with KD Smooth at One Brothas Mind. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's KD Smooth coming back at you with a new report. I pray you all are doing well. Shalom, family. This evening's report, family, we are going to cover this issue. Some of you or many of you may not have seen or heard of this issue yet, but it's just been recently announced. The reparations package and recommendations out of San Francisco, California. The committee that was put together to come up with reparations recommendations for the government of California for them to vote on and hopefully pass into law. But don't hold your breath. But they came out with their final reports and recommendations just here in the last couple days. So we're going to get into this real briefly. Family, before we do, remember to smash the like button, share this report on all your social media with all your peoples, and be sure that you and your peoples are subscribed to One Brothas Mind, where we try to bring you the information and facts you need. All right, family, we're going to get into this here. As you see the headline, they're starting to pop up out here on these internet streets. Reports are being done, but basically, the San Francisco Reparations Committee recommended to California for California to pay $5 million to, it says black residents, but it's actually foundational black Americans, and supplementing foundational black Americans who are currently low income, supplementing their income for 250 years. Yeah, family. Yeah, again, these are just recommendations to the California government, okay? So don't get overly excited yet. But just the fact that these recommendations have been put out, family, out here in these internet streets, many, not all of our white brothers and sisters are losing their everlasting minds hearing this news and information. I mean, just let it sit on your spirit for a minute how, again, not all, but many of our white brothers and sisters feel about hearing of the possibility of foundational black Americans actually getting a lump sum of $5 million each. Just here you go. And in addition, for low-income foundational black Americans, they get a guaranteed income stipend for the next 250 years. Yeah, family. Many, unfortunately, of our white brothers and sisters they're going through it right now, y'all. They going through it right now. They like, what? What in all the hell? Right now, I mean, that's that. Yeah, let me hit that one more time. They going through it, y'all. Yeah, they are going through it. So, let me back up here. They going through it. I'm gonna hit that one more again for you. Yeah, they woo. Yeah, 5 mil. Smooth 5 mil. They like, where's mine? Yeah, but anyway, we gonna get into this, family. As we always say here at One Brothas Mind, following a great wise saying from our brother, the Black Authority, cut the check. Cut the check now. Yeah, all of them owe reparations. Government, banks, college, corporate, all of them. So, yeah, cut that check. Why don't you? So, real quick, family, just want to touch on a few aspects that have already been released about this issue. Number one, I want to be clear. This is an exclusive here at One Brothas Mind. If these reparations recommendations get passed into law in California, I can pretty much guarantee you that Governor, Galvin Newsom, whatever the boy's name is there in California, he will be the next United States president. I can almost guarantee it. If these recommendations, as is, for the most part, get passed into law in California. Because basically, if they pass him in California and then he runs for president, every black person in America, for the most part, will vote for Galvin Newsom, the governor from California. Okay? Be clear on that. So that's where I'm coming from on that. Because you got to remember, Galvin Newsom is also the same governor of California who signed the bill, the NIL bill, into law in California for the college athletes, their name and image, where they can actually make money now and income while they're in college off of their name and image. And that changed the entire NCAA world nationwide. Because once he signed it into law in California, and so that meant all the colleges in California, the athletes that go to college in California, they can now make an income off of their name and their image and their likeness in California at colleges there. So unless all of the other states in America immediately copied this law, all of the top, especially black athletes, were going to go sign up for scholarships and what have you to go to college in California, because they can make money now in California. So that law in California changed college sports in the NCAA forever. So he also did that. So now California, according to these recommendations, are on the verge of also passing a reparations bill. The first part is done. The recommendations are in and they're being submitted to the California government. Okay? So now it's in the hands of the California government. Now, be clear. Here at One Brothas Mind family, I don't give a damn whether it's a Democrat or a Republican who, let's say, for example, would create the law or pass the bill for this type of reparations package. After they make it law, I will vote for either one. I don't care. Because I ain't on either team anyway. Bump them. Right? But again, the key point I want you to focus on, family, is don't just get all excited and try to say, oh, I'm going to go ahead and vote for the Democrats and Galvin Newsom because they're about to do this. Wait a minute. Wait until it's actually passed into law before you give them your vote. You see the difference? Because this could all be smoke and mirrors. Just a bunch of talk that they introducing, just to get out here in these streets, to get people, especially foundational Black Americans, all excited to try to trickerate us once again to getting us to vote for them, going, if you vote for us, we'll do this. No. That game over. You have to do it first. Make it law. Cut the check. Then we'll vote for you. And we'll keep voting for you so you can remain in office or as the president or what have you. But you're going to do whatever it is first. That's the key point. Okay? So real quick, family, I want to go over and highlight just a couple of bits of information from the articles that are being released on this recommendation and cover some of the details. Okay? So first off, the recommendation provides a lump sum, a one-time lump sum payment of $5 million to all foundational Black American residents in California, in this case, who are at least 18 years old and have identified as Black or African American on public documents for the last 10 years. Okay? So, some additional details. California foundational Black American residents must also meet at least 2 of 8 other requirements. Among those requirements is that the resident is personally or directly a descendant of someone incarcerated by the failed war on drugs, or is a descendant of someone enslaved through U.S. chattel slavery before 1865. Okay, let's pause right there real quick. So they got a list of other criteria that foundational Black Americans would have to meet. And these are a couple of additional elements that if you meet at least 2 more of these, you will qualify for these reparations. Now, right off the top, I don't know about y'all, but Katie Smooth, myself, I already got my documents and information. I've been did the research on my family tree. Okay. I can produce these documents right. I can push a button right now. My printer will spit them out. I can print out my source information for that information as well. For example, I have one document I have for my great grandfather is I have his World War I enlistment record. I got a copy of it. Okay. In addition, I also have a record. I traced them down to basically the plantation that he lived on, him and his siblings, as a child. It was like the 1870, 1880 census that was taken at that time. And my record literally only lists on that record their first names. But I got other records that, birth records and other things, marriage records or what that tie in, that connect to all of his and his siblings' first names. I got all that stuff already. Okay? Do you? Yeah, and I got all the records that, of course, correlate and connect, coming on down through history up to the day that point and connect to me directly. All right? Now, if you don't, it is my recommendation, family. You better get busy. You better get busy. First, start with talking to your parents, documenting all the historical information about your family on both sides that you can. Names, birth dates, marriage, who they married, where they went to school, all kind of information that could be actually proven, documented. Social security numbers, addresses, all that stuff, right? Then go to your grandparents if you still have grandparents with you. Do the same thing. Use your phone, record those conversations. So later you can replay that conversation and make sure that you've documented all the information. Because with a lot of your grandparents, they got to the point where they ain't gonna necessarily be able to keep repeating all this information to you. Okay, so you just sit down and talk to them and press record on your phone and record that whole conversation, and then go and transcribe the information down and document it after the conversation. Our great grandparents, some of you are really blessed, some of us, that's available. But get that information, okay? And then I would recommend the next easiest thing to do would take a lot of that information and go to, what's the name of the little family tree website? I don't think it's familytree.com. It's the real popular one right now. It's got one of the largest databases of historical records in it. Y'all know what I'm talking. I can't spit it out right now. You can go to their website, you can sign up, and you can go and start implementing information, identifying yourself, your parents, your siblings, your relatives, and you can slowly start linking. They already got a lot of the birth and marriage information, military, school, you name it. A lot of it's already there, and you can begin to go back 2, 3, 4, possibly 5 generations. And pretty quickly, within a short period of time, I mean, it'll take you some weeks to go through all that information and verify that it's accurate, but you can get and capture, many of us, a lot of that information there on their web. I can't think of the name of that website right now. Wait, hold on. Let me look real quick. I want to make sure I try to get to you. Ancestry.com. Yes. That's the website that I'm referring to. You can go to ancestry.com and start typing in your immediate family information, and they'll just start linking and connecting y'all up. Now, it starts to slow down as you go further back in your family tree, but that's when you got to do more detailed research and study on what information you may be able to find there, and then you got to go like back to your grandparents and what have you, or parents, and start to confirm the information that you're finding. Okay? But definitely do that. Some additional details, family. These recommendations to the California government also recommended that the city supplement low-income foundational Black Americans whose income meet the area or California's medium income range of about $97,000 per year. Basically, foundational Black Americans whose incomes are below that. So they recommend that if a foundational Black American that qualifies for all these other criteria, their income is below $97,000 a year, that the California government supplement their income to meet up to or measure up to $97,000 a year for at least 250 years. 250 years. Yeah, family. Yeah. Let that test on your spirit. Okay? Now, most of these articles that you're going to find, they go into more information as to why, but for those of us that already qualify this, that know who we are, we already know all this information. So I'm not going to bore you with why these things should be being done. We've been talking and preaching and marching and fighting ad nauseum for this information and these reparations. Okay. Another bit of detail also is recommended that a comprehensive debt forgiveness program is implemented for foundational Black Americans in California to cancel all of their, let's say this, 100% of their student loan debt, their housing loans debt, and credit card debt in an effort to give Black households or foundational Black American households an opportunity to build wealth. Okay? So, yeah, that also. So not only $5 million cash check, but also for the lower income foundational Black Americans in California, a minimum of $97,000 a year in income and all their debt cancellations as well. Now, I'm sure, I would imagine, yeah, they mad, y'all. I would imagine, a lot of the debt cancellations for a foundational Black American that would qualify, that would be deducted from their $5 million or their annual $97,000 a year income payout. Somewhere that the debt would be deducted, most likely, but who knows? But yeah, family. They're not done. They also recommended allowing foundational Black Americans in California who are eligible for reparations to receive first choice of subsidized rental units and prioritizing members of San Francisco's foundational Black Americans current and past communities for employment opportunities, training programs, professional certifications, partnerships, and contracting. Why? Because they realize most or many of foundational Black Americans out here, we're out here due to the poor education system and all the stuff that they've been doing to us. It's kept us down to where we're not educationally or trade skill equipped to be able to compete out here in the job market. Okay? Or even better yet, we don't have those trade skills no more. We don't receive them in our education to where we can then start our own businesses or what have you. So that is why they're recommending, or at least one of the reasons why they're recommending that. The information goes on to recommend that the City of California and the County of San Francisco and the Mayor's Office of Housing and Community Development should offer Black homeowners also, or foundational Black American homeowners, grants for home maintenance and repair costs. Again, I would suspect those type of grants would be deducted from one of the other major amounts, but either way, okay, right? Because they've literally been keeping their boots on our necks this entire time. Okay. So, yeah. Now, again, family. Yeah. Many of our white brothers and sisters yeah. They having problems. They upset right now. You hear me? Okay. Because first thing they're saying is, well, why can't that's not fair. That's not fair. Where's mine? Million. My 5 million. Woo. Y'all, we done heard all of the responses and stuff. We done heard them all. Okay. Now, here's a key piece to this, family, that you need to be aware of. These recommendations, as they are, as I've just shared them with you, actually may pass and become law in California. Because in California, of the 11 votes or 11 people that have votes that would make this batch of recommendations actually law, 5 of them are already known to be in support of all of these recommendations. So of the 11, all they need is one more swing vote and bang, they become law. The reparations there start to get pushed out. Okay. Now there's also some additional detailed information there. You'll see in reports they have where you have to have been born in California or a resident in California between a certain number from a certain date to a certain date as a part of also the qualifications list. Thus far, we still haven't had time to fully really dig into all of the details, and they haven't released all of the details of what actually qualifies you, but so far so good, because y'all know this is being a political thing. Once it gets close to being able to be passed and made into law, they're going to be looking to try to not only kill it, but if they can't kill it, renegotiate it, put all kind of extra trickerations in there to make it to where basically like 3 people qualify out of all the foundational. You know how they do. Okay. So again, you're going to have to keep your eye out. You keep your eye on this one, family. So, but as the current recommendation, family, this is the type of reparations package and checks that is more in line to what we're owed. Now, a lot of my white listeners, y'all sitting there going, wait a minute. No, hell no. Y'all sit back going, wait, y'all doing this? No. Ain't nobody owe y'all nothing. Why? And then why I got to pay from my tax money? All of this. We didn't heard them all, right? But yes, that's first. This is potentially a good option for reparations, a good start. Okay. So with this recommendation as is, this would allow us, family, to go ahead. We would now have the money and resources to do the things that we need to do, like start our own cities and communities, build them up. We got the money. We have our own literal cities. Okay. build up, and within those cities, build our own school systems, have our own law enforcement, and our own sustainable infrastructure and self-defense force as well. Don't sleep on that. But we would be able to have our own thing. Now, we wouldn't do that in effort to exclude anybody else. My white brothers and sisters, my Asian brothers and sisters, my Islamic brothers and sisters, my Arab brothers and sisters, my Indian brother. Hey, come on down here to Chocolate City. Come on over to Chocolate City. Come get you some of this good soul food, and come get you some buy this good soul music that we produce and are selling, and all of the different things that we would have to offer. Come stay in our hotels and our resorts. Come on, y'all. You know what I mean? That's what they are. That's what a lot of our white brothers, sisters, and brothers and sisters from other groups, that's what they're doing on social media. They go to our pages, they go to our channels, they go to our TikToks, and be trying to watch and learn how we cook this, how we do these dances, how we look cool. Because they know, at least the ones that will admit it, we are the trendsetters. We always have been. We are those who set and determine what's cool and what's not. Okay? We set that stuff, and they follow our lead, or copy, or steal that cultural information from us. But now they can come on down to Chocolate City. Come on over here and bring your purse, bring your wallet, because y'all gonna have to pay for this. You're gonna have to pay to get in this club. You're gonna have to pay to eat here. Come on. You're welcome. There ain't no exclusion. Just like they've had us as locked in consumers to their cities and their communities. It'll be no different. Everybody free to go where they want to go. Which brings up another point as to why a lot of my white brothers and sisters don't want this. Because they don't want the competition as far as like businesses and restaurants and etc. They don't want the competition because a lot of them already know. Just as restaurants alone, many of the restaurants that our white brothers and sisters own, they will go out of business because most of people from all the other groups, where they're coming to eat, right? Anyway, so again, we would be able to build our own self-sustaining, replenishing ecosystem, our own chocolate cities or communities. And because now, with these reparations, our communities would have everything in them that we need, as opposed to the way most of our communities are today. Like, for example, many of them, we live in food deserts. There's no significant or major employers, so there's no family sustaining wage paying jobs and businesses. Just go down the list of all the stuff that's not in our current communities, where we always have to go travel outside of our neighborhoods to access all of these other things that we need. They're cool with it, everything being as it is, where we got to come to their communities to go grocery shopping or go get our cars fixed or go get an attorney, or just go down a list of stuff that's not in our current neighborhoods and communities. Well, with our reparations package, we would start all of those businesses and get them functioning in our own communities, in our own chocolate cities, if you will. So we would have everything. So we no longer got to go to their communities to get this or get this service, or we have our own hospitals. We could go ahead and start our own professional sports leagues. Yeah, I mean, just let it set on your spirit and let your mind go. Let your mind be free, family, as to all of the things that we would now have, the resources that we are owed, that we will be able to use those resources for, that money for, to start and build our own economic base and ecosystem and defense force. So as a part of like a package like this, you know, I think it's not too much to say that we also, many of us, family, we also would need to institute financial and business classes. Okay, maybe even like a little test for both. If you pass the test, you can just get your check and move on, because you know enough to be able to make your own, you know, sound financial decisions. Is what kind of business you want to start, your business plan, how to handle your money. You know enough to go out there and you should be able to be financially successful from there on. But a lot of us, family, because we haven't had money for generations, we haven't had wealth, we need to learn how. We need to educate ourselves on how to handle money, make investments, start businesses, put together business plans, whatever. Now, the key factor is these classes, and, you know, maybe being required to take them, we control these classes, not the government, not some other entity, some other no. We start and run these classes and control them for us. You understand? So they don't come up with a new trick bag with that. They're gonna come up with all kind of trickerations to try to shut this down. So, for example, family, for a family three, take my family, right? Both of my children are, my youngest is 18. I'll put it that way. So I got a family of three. So for my family, based on these recommendations, if we lived in California and could prove and meet the other criteria, enough of it, then each of us, myself and my two children, would receive $5 million, $15 million as a family, in addition to whatever else we qualified for. Right? Yeah. Another thing you need to keep in mind, family, let's say this goes into law. We can just come up with a quick example for you. Let's say 10,000 foundational Black Americans in California qualified and produced all their documentation. They getting these reparations. Say it was made law. It's happening, right? And say 10,000 qualify for these $5 million, right? That would equal California paying out $50 billion. Okay? Approximately. Just do the math, right? Now, two questions you have to ask is like, well, wait a minute. What kind of budget does California have? Could California afford to pay that? Well, in 2022, California's total budget was $307.9 billion. So in theory, yes, California could afford to pay for this. But in reality, you subtract 50 billion from California's budgets, a whole lot of other stuff is going to get red taped and cut out, and California can't afford that, basically, is what the point that I'm making. So that's why a reparations package like this needs to be federal. Okay? Because of its sheer size. There's not going to be too many states that can afford to pay what's actually owed. Okay? Now, if California, another option, California can say, okay, as a state, we're going to pay or be responsible for 25 billion or 20 billion of this. Now we're going to require all of our banks, institutions to contribute another 10 billion. We're going to require all of our colleges within the state of California to contribute another 5 to 10 billion. You see how I'm saying? The insurance companies, they got to drop in another 5 to 10 billion. And collectively, they come up with or produce the 50 billion that covers this. Do you see that? They also can do that, family. So there's options. There's things that they can do to come up with the money that's owed. Cut the check now. Okay, family? So with this type of recommendation, family, be clear. Expect the racist white brothers and sisters and white supremacists throughout the country. They like I said, they losing their mind. Expect more racist attacks to begin to happen and continue, especially if this is passed into law in California. Many of them gonna lose their, like I said, their everlasting minds. Okay, that's one thing. Expect it. Be ready. Also, two, expect a whole lot of our white brothers and sisters to come out of the walls and the woodworks talking about, well, I got my great grand uncle or grand aunt or whatever. He or she, they were black too, so that makes me black. I'm black. That means I'm black. No, it does not. Why? Because for most of my white brothers and sisters, you know, our family, man. Okay, y'all family, but for most of y'all, if y'all do have a ancestor that was black, you only have that ancestor that was black because a slave, foundational black American woman was raped. That don't count. And in fact, when that happened, that side of the family, those kids that were born, this uncle, great uncle or aunt you trying to claim, y'all didn't claim your family. The white side of your family never claimed that black side of your family anyway. So try again. Okay. No, it doesn't count at all. Also, another point I wanted to stress here to all of you, especially my white brothers and sisters, that feel, especially those that feel like this. Y'all tripping. Did y'all feel this way when after slavery, the United States government actually paid the slave masters and plantation owners? They literally gave them cash reparations for the loss of their property, being the slaves. They literally paid them money, gave them reparations for the loss of their slaves. Do your research. Did you act like this or flip out like you feeling right now when the United States government paid reparations to the Japanese? Cash reparations, billions of dollars to the Japanese? Do your research. Also, even to people that are not even U.S. citizens, y'all do know the U.S. government paid reparations out to a lot of the people over in Europe. You know, those people that called themselves Jews, they paid them out in programs like the Marshall Plan and the European Recovery Plans. Do your research. Come on, my white brothers and sisters. Y'all, we family. Y'all, did y'all Was this how y'all was feeling? Did y'all not want these other things? What about when they pay cash reparations and are still paying cash reparations, not only to those that call themselves Jews, but to Native Americans? The plots of land, the casinos, and the cash money that's paid out monthly. Is this how y'all? Do y'all hate those reparations also? Did y'all flip out and get mad and not want to vote for those reparations? Yeah. No, y'all only feel this way when it comes to foundational Black Americans, the descendants of the slave trade. Okay? So, and to be clear, no, it's not every so-called Black person in the United States. It's only foundational Black Americans, descendants of slaves, that meet these criteria. Okay? Not other Black immigrants that have come in since slavery ended or after slavery ended and don't meet the criteria. No. Yeah, there's a lot of other Black family members that have immigrated into the U.S., but foundational Black Americans, the descendants of slaves, we're not immigrants. We're native here. We brought, many of us were here and were brought here on slave ships. Okay, so we're not immigrants at all. So if this how you feel right now, hearing this report, get over yourself. All right? Reparations will be paid, whether it's today or soon. The check will be cut. So that's it, family. Again, smash the like button, share this report on all your social media with all your peoples, and be sure that you and them are subscribed to One Brothas Mind, where we try to bring you the information and facts you need. So, okay, family, let's chop it up. Let me know what y'all think on this report in the comments. You know, are you for it? Are you against it? If you're against it, other than the obvious reasons that y'all been screaming about already forever, if you can clearly state why, and you feel you have a real good case, go ahead, put it in the comments. Let's talk. We can discuss it briefly, but there's no, you ain't got a case. But go ahead, you want to try? Go ahead, put it. My white family members, put it in the comments, man. Let's hear you out. Like I said, reparations will be paid. If not today, it will be very soon. And this concludes this broadcast for One Brothas Mind. We thank you for joining us. And as a part of the new Black media, B1 choices are mandatory and being on code is required. But never fear, Yeshua the Christ is with you always. Shalom.